Welcome back to one of my favorite sports podcasts, Frizz and the Grizz, with your host Trudeau and my guy, Frizzy Frizz.
Hello and welcome back to Frizz and the Grizz. It's your boy Trudeau. Thank you for joining us live Monday, January 5th. You can catch us live on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. check out that Twitch handle at @dfrizzy_Frizz5. If you're only catching part of the show live today and want the whole thing tomorrow, we're available on podcast, Apple, Spotify, all those good places. As a reminder, please help your boys out. Press all those buttons. Rate, subscribe, review. If you like the NFL, this show is a place for you today. All NFL talk. We're going to talk about Wild Card Weekend, the coaching carousel in the NFL going on right now, and our discussion on the NFL award picks. Long 2 weeks off, but we're back. D, what it do?
What up, man? Happy New Year, man. How are you today?
Happy New Year to you too, man. You stayed up for the New Year's, which salute to you, because my old ass cannot stay up past midnight.
We actually went out. So not just stayed up, we went out. And as soon as that ball dropped, bartender, check, please. Like we were checking out as soon as we could. But we stayed up with the youngins. A lot of Al's work friends. We went out to we went out to dinner first, and then we went out to an actual bar.
Oh my God, on New Year's.
We haven't been out to a bar, I think, since Peyton was, so at least in the last 5 years. And that was it was entertaining. The bar scene is definitely still like it was when it was our time, but I'm so past that life now. But it was fun. It was fun to see the ball drop out. Obviously the TVs and all that, everybody's got that. We had watched the Ohio State game because that was on at the time. So it was good. It was good.
What was the average age at the bar?
You're looking at between target market 22 and like 27. Then randomly, there was old ass people, like I'm talking like 70s, 80s.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, and I'm like, I mean, you ain't got nothing else to do, so why not? I guess be at the bar.
No kids at that point.
Yeah,
That's
why not? And then randomly, it's like this, they're playing like Kenny Chesney and random country music, and then they just bust out like a big boombox speaker and start bumping trap music. I'm like, I don't understand the vibe at all here with the age group, the age gap, the music, and then the switch. All of a sudden they're playing 50 Cent, but they're not playing in the club. They're playing like Many Men. I'm like, I don't get what's going on, man.
I see them.
It was very entertaining. I'll say that.
That sounds nice, man. That sounds nice. We just watched the broadcast of the New Year's thing. It's so sad. We just sat there and watched, had a couple of drinks. It's like, the progressive New Year's Eve celebration brought to you by State Farm, Coca-Cola, and it's just like nonstop ads.
Fitness. Yes.
Yeah, we're just like, this sucks. We're going to bed. Fuck this.
I don't blame you at all.
We missed some interesting football things that happened, so I can't wait to dive into them. I mean, this past weekend was a stinker, so it's kind of good that we don't really talk about the games themselves. But let's talk big picture. Let's get right into it. So NFL Wild Card Weekend is set. I kind of wanted to see where we thought the most interesting games are, biggest possibility for upsets this first weekend. So we know the Broncos and the AFC and the Seahawks and the NFC both have byes, so they'll be playing next weekend. Let's just recap really quick the games this weekend. We have Steelers hosting the Texans. Texans are a 3-point favorite in that one. Jaguars hosting the Bills. Buffalo is a favorite in that one on the road. Interesting, 1.5-point favorite. Patriots hosting the Chargers. Patriots are a 3.5-point home favorite. You got Panthers hosting the Rams, which this is a laughable one. Panthers are hosting the Rams, winners of the NFC South. Rams are a 10.5-point favorite on the road. Against a team, mind you, they already lost to once.
Yep.
Eagles hosting the Niners. Eagles a 4.5-point favorite. Excuse me. And finally, the Bears hosting the Packers, only a 1.5-point favorite. So Vegas sees that one being a close game. Let's just start with the question. Biggest eliminating Panthers Rams conversation, because you would say Panthers are the higher seed or the lower seed, excuse me. But the Rams are huge favorites. What is, in your opinion, the most fascinating game this weekend that has the biggest potential for upset?
Jags Bills.
Okay. So where do you go? Because Vegas sees this as a Bills win.
Yeah.
Are you with Vegas on this one?
No. And
okay.
I'm not. This isn't me being a Josh Allen hater. It's what happens to the Bills in the playoffs. And Liam Cohen, from where we were talking about him week 4, has flipped this team around. Like we were talking about, like there being, I think, like turmoil in the club because there was that week where Trevor was trying to say something and then Liam was like, no, do this. And he waved him off. Remember that at the beginning of the season?
Remember that.
Like, yo, like this is your coach. Like, what the hell's going on? But they've found a way to make that offense be consistent and that defense be annoying. And we know when it gets to Josh McDermott, right? Is it Josh McDermott, the head coach?
Doug McDermott.
Doug McDermott. Sorry, Doug McDermott.
You want to say Josh McDaniels, I think.
Yeah. Well, I also want to say Josh Allen because I'm about to say both. Both when it comes to McDermott and when it comes to Allen in the playoffs, they find a way to make a mistake that they shouldn't make. And their defense is not the greatest. About to go up against a pretty potent offense in the Jags, and they have an offense that still doesn't have a number one receiver. That you're just hoping Josh Allen puts on the Superman cape. So on the road, Jags are a better overall team. I don't favor them. I don't favor Vegas saying that the Bills have the better chance to win this game. I think at home gives them the advantage. Duval is going to show up on Saturday.
Yeah, this is an interesting one because I think the Jags are coming off of a 6 or 7 game win streak, including a really impressive win.
I said Saturday. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Including a really impressive win over the 1 seed Broncos. Like they went into Mile High on the road against a very good defense and put up like 30 points or something, over 30 points against the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
I know people have dogged on the Patriots for having a weak schedule, but the Bills also play the Jets twice and Dolphins twice as well. All year, the Bills have looked a bit shaky, right? I feel like the Vegas line is just because Josh Allen is on one sideline and he's the best quarterback remaining in the playoffs. I think you could say. I'm trying to think who else would be there. Yeah, I think it's very comfortable.
I mean, on the AFC side, I mean, you can't really say the gap is that much different though right now between play with Drake May and play with Josh Allen. Physical tool wise, yes, he's a head and shoulders above him, but the play style and the play of each other in the last 6 to 8 weeks, I'd give the edge to Drake May over Josh Allen right now.
Yeah, and even coming into this this matchup again, we're talking about the way teams are trending. 7 wins for the Jaguars. The Bills have been looking shaky. A squeaker in the snow against the Bengals. Squeaker, 21-point comeback against the Patriots. Squeaker against the Browns. Lost to the Eagles, and congratulations, you whooped on the Jets. Mm-hmm. I do find that very strange that the Bills are favored on the road against a Jacksonville team that's been very, very good. And I think Liam Cohen deserves more credit than he's been given. I was looking at the odds, and I placed a couple bets on the Coach of the Year award. And Liam Cohen was not even on the top 5 odds. I think he may have been the 5th.
Well, hasn't he already won Coach of the Year?
No, this is his first time. This is his first
somewhere else. Okay.
He was the Bucs offensive coordinator last year.
Yes. Okay.
But yeah, what he's done to this Jacksonville team's been nothing short than a miracle because Jacksonville's been a disaster for how many years now?
Since the fumble that wasn't a fumble in New England.
Yeah. The last time I remember was them being relevant was Blake Bortles.
That's what I'm saying. I think it was 8 years ago when they said that one of the linebackers was down on the fumble that they forced in Foxborough. I think that was 8 years ago because Brady was still playing.
So I think that's a pretty good pick. The only other one I think is interesting, and I think you're going to strongly disagree, is the Bears-Packers. It is a very tight game as far as the Vegas line. Again, Bears hosting the Packers, 1.5 point favorite. I know the Packers lost Micah Parsons. The Bears have been one of these teams this year that we talked about in the past with 3 years ago, I want to say, with the Giants and Danny Dimes back in the day when they went 10 or 11 win season and they got to the playoffs and got their ass beat because that team was they won games by a very slim margin. And the Bears have been winning a lot of games by slim margins. And we're talking about a team that's getting their first playoff exposure for guys like Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, while he's been to the playoffs in the past as an OC. This is his first playoff exposure as a head coach. I am worried a little bit because if you even go back in the season, I'm pretty sure Green Bay won the first matchup, and then the second matchup was a 3-point game.
The Packers won the first by 7, then the Bears won the next one by 6.
6
in overtime.
Okay, so like it's been very tight between these teams.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be surprised if the Packers won this weekend.
The only reason why I wouldn't and why I went with the Jags is because like if you're gonna use the term upset, it's like a heavy favorite that lost. I get the seeding, right? Like the Bears win the division, so technically they are the higher seed, which makes it an upset. But it being a 1-point spread in Vegas,
you also picked the Jaguars with a 1-point spread.
I thought you said the Bills were getting 3.
No, 1.5.
My apologies. I honestly thought you said the Bills were getting 3, which I was like, that doesn't make any sense. All right, well then throw that out the window. I just mean it as these two teams, they're more evenly matched. So I don't see either win as an upset or as a favorable like victory because I just think that I'm doing the 6-7 thing. I think that they're very common when it comes to their season. Like the Packers are always going to finish with 10 or 11 wins and they're going to make the playoffs. The Bears overachieved and they finished with 10 or 11 wins. So like they still ended up in the same spot essentially. If they'd have beat the 49ers and they beat the Lions, then I would say, hey, if they ended up being the 2 seed, drew the Packers, and the Seahawks were still the 1, and the Bears had won those games, then I would say that would be the biggest chance for an upset. But like they're limping into the playoffs with 2 losses out of the last 3. So like I don't see that as an upset if the Packers win. I'd be like, oh, that's par for the course for these 2 teams.
The rest of the games, let's just really rat-tat-tat them. Steelers, Texans, do you give the Steelers any shot? I know they're a home team, and Tomlin has worked miracles. This feels like a classic Steelers playoff game where they get to the playoffs, and it just looks...
Steal one. Yeah.
I was going to say not steal one. I was going to say it looks like they've done this several times in the past where like they keep games close, but they're never really in it. I feel like the Texans are going to run away with this thing.
Oh, really? I thought you were going Steelers. I want the Texans to win. I could see the Steelers stealing this just because it's home. Is it a night game or is it a day game?
Let me see. I can click on it.
You got to think of elements too. Okay, so you got to think of elements. Last night was brutal if you were watching it for Pittsburgh. 30, 40 degrees. That changes field goal kicking. Ka'imi Fairbairn is one of the best kickers in the league. But if you can't rely on his points when you get past the 50, it changes your offense. Same thing when it comes to the way that oh my goodness, well, I'm thinking the quarterback. Drawing a blank. CJ Stroud. Yeah. CJ Stroud is an indoor. I mean, I know he played in Columbus, Ohio with Ohio State, but he's an indoor quarterback right now. Who knows if the timing between him and his wide receivers are going to be the exact same way. You're playing a night game at no longer Heinz Field. I think it's like Accenture, whatever it is.
Over under
Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh Stadium. Like you're playing on the road in a very hostile environment, playoff wise, along with the elements. So that's the only reason why I would say they could steal with this one. I wouldn't pick this as an upset. I think it would be the Jags, but I look at it and be like, hey man, if this happened, it wouldn't surprise me because like this isn't Aaron Rodgers' first rodeo. You would think towards the end of the season would be him getting worse. He threw for 300 last night. like I get it was the Ravens, and the Houston Texans defense is damn good. I'd say top 5 in the league. So like they're still gonna have to deal with that. But if there is a game to steal, it would be this one just because they're the home team.
Where I find it difficult is like how will the Steelers score points against this defense?
But they found a way last night. 2 drives.
Yeah, but
it's like up and down the field. It's like where the hell was that the rest of the game?
The pass rush for the Ravens has not been there all year. Like they've struggled defensively. Houston probably is the best pass rush in the league, and they have the best pass rush DB combination in the league. Their linebacking core is a little weak. Like if the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to win this game, they're going to have to run the ball really well. Mm-hmm. But if they find themselves down and like I have to pass the ball, we know all year Aaron Rodgers has been like, I got to get the ball out of my hand. I got to get the ball out of my hand. It's going to be really hard against those lockdown corners in that pass rush to like generate any explosives. Like if the Steelers could do it, like this is the game plan for them. Run the ball effectively, like really well. Okay. Have some weird shit happen defensively with like TJ Watt, do some weird shit, cause a couple turnovers. Like it's possible, but like if both teams play up to their expectations, I think the Houston Texans win this thing easily.
If there were a game that has a tale of two like potential outcomes, it's this one, because it could be a randomly close game that the Steelers pull off, or it could just be an absolute bludgeon by the Texans because of that defense, and they just cause turnovers, and they're not affected by the weather, they're not affected by the stadium and those young gunners, because like that team is young, like quarterback, running back, wide receiver, D line, outside of Danielle Hunter, like Will Anderson, linebacker group, Stingley is their shutdown corner, like that team is young. So, like, if they're just young and dumb and they don't care and they go out there and blitz them for 40, I could see that happening. But I also could see it being a randomly close game, come down to a field goal, and then we're like, how the hell did the Steelers win this? I think it's the only game this week that I would look at and be like, yeah, that's probably the one that you don't know what the actual outcome could be.
Do you think it'll be a high-scoring game?
If it's a high-scoring game, it's going to be a blowout, because it's not going to be the Steelers like staying level with the Texans. They don't have that offense, and the defense is too good. But I'm saying it'll be a 40-10 game.
Interesting.
Houston.
Yeah, the over-under is 39.5. I feel like that's a lot of points for at least that defense of Houston. I don't feel like Pittsburgh's going to put a ton of points.
No.
Patriots, Chargers. I feel like the Patriots should handle business, but like again, we've been on them all year about a weaker schedule. This is like time to test your mettle. I mean, Herbert's been really good this year, but Herbert's also playing with like a plate in his hand.
Yeah, he's all bruised up. Keenan Allen has missed some time.
Their whole line's a mess too.
Yep. What's the name? They just lost Joe Alt, so like he's not there. Like that team is battered and bruised to get into the playoffs. So like it should be a controlled win. This isn't one of those I could see the Chargers win. No, this is don't fumble this bag, because like they're the home team, I believe, correct?
Patriots, yeah.
Okay, so you're the home team. You got a bruised entire offense on the Chargers side, from quarterback to lineman to running back and wide receiver, everybody. And their defense is okay, but Drake May has been really good. So like they should control this win. It could be like a 24-14, and then a late field goal makes it 27-14, make it look like a blowout, but it's not really.
Imagine if the Patriots find a way to lose this game, and then
that would not be good.
And then Drake May wins the MVP like 2 weeks later. That would be such a voters would be like, I can't believe we just gave him the MVP after that.
Yeah, I don't. You can't lose this game. Not with the way that I know expectations change. This is the problem that we had. Remember LSU a couple of years ago when I was like, nah, this season's over. Then they won against Alabama. I'm like, oh, let's get to college. Like expectations changed. This is what it was for the Patriots. Like we were here talking about 6 wins is a good season. Then all of a sudden they're like leading the conference. And like, whoa, wait a minute. And then they win their division. You're like, hey, okay, well, things are changed. Now it's not like just be happy to make the playoffs. You won your division. At one point, you were the 1 seed. Like you have to win a home playoff game. You cannot lose to the Jaguars, or it will go down as a disappointing season because of how good you played this year.
Rams, Panthers. I'm tempted to take the 10.5 points.
I think the Panthers are going to get. Well, not only that, they're home. It was brick. It was cold in Charlotte. It was cold out here this weekend. So like, I don't think people understand how much like the temperature change affects games, and it's the reason why it's so damn close in the playoffs. You don't see a lot of blowouts. It's the reason why the Giants can go as a 7-9 team into Green Bay and win. It's a level playing field in the playoffs. So like, if you're expecting a blowout, I just wouldn't put my money on it, saying like, oh yeah, give me the point. You can have the points, Carolina. It's gonna be a blowout. No. Like that offense is great. Puka Nacua is gonna be unstoppable, but they got J.C. Horn over there. Like they got some guys that can match up against them. And Charlotte, I've never seen, even with Cam, I've never seen this stadium react the way that they have in the last couple of weeks with them winning. So like, it's almost like they waited for this. We had Superman, but now we got the little guy in Bryce Young, and like the waited for explosion of excitement is now there with Bryce Young, and I think it's going to be a close game. I think that the Rams still win, but I'm not expecting it to be a blowout like the experts are saying.
I feel strange about the Panthers because I'm a Buccaneers fan. I'm kind of happy for the Panthers.
Yeah.
Because the Bucks, if we made the playoffs, if your Saints took care of business, we made the playoffs. The wheels are falling off on the team. We're barely getting over the finish line. Let's see it. Prime time, Bryce Young. Like let's see. Is this young nucleus going to do something? By the way, two former Bucks offensive coordinators in the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
Liam Cohen and I forget his name. Is it Cutter? The current head coach of the Panthers. I'm forgetting. It was the OC of the Bucks two prior years ago, but yeah. And now our coach might be fired. Interesting. All right. Last one, Eagles, 49ers. I feel like this is the battle of the sadness because the Eagles have been, even though they're a 3 seed, low-key frauds, disappointing all year. Like, do you really have any faith in the Eagles? I don't.
I do because they're home.
I mean, in general, like making an actual run here.
Yes.
You do?
Yeah. Just because, look, man, we've said it. I've said it at least. Jalen Hurts can turn it on when he needs to. He just hasn't had to. Does he really, though?
The run game's been bad this year, man.
It has, but they still finished as the 3 seed. Like, they're hosting a home playoff.
How do they get there?
Beat up 49ers. I get it. They got a terrible division. Like, I understand that.
And then you also have the Panthers, too. So, like, that by default, you're the 3 seed. Congratulations.
Brother, it happens. These are things that happen. A lot of the times, the 1 seeds don't win the Super Bowl. So, like, it's just part of the game, and all it takes is you to just get on a hot streak. We've seen Jalen at his best. After all this talk, AJ Brown finished the season with like the 2nd or 3rd most targets in the league. So like, I don't think there's enough talk about that after all the I'm not getting enough. Like, no, the brother was he was in the top 5, I want to say, for targets, and I want to say top 5 for receptions or yards. Like, he had a great season. They still got Devontae Smith. They still have Saquon Barkley. Although they're moving around a lot of pieces with that offensive line, the 49ers are beat up.
Yeah.
So you have no idea what you're going to get. Kyle Shanahan is always going to coach his ass off, but you don't know if you're going to get Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde with Brock Purdy. One game he can go off for 350 on the ground, 4 touchdowns, no turnovers. The next he can go off for 125 and 3 turnovers. You just don't know what you're going to get with him. So like, his inconsistency, I don't trust. While I love Christian McCaffrey and the season he's had. I can't wait till we talk about awards. But Ricky Pearsall being hurt, Jawan Jennings. What's up?
Isn't there like all pro left tackle out too? He was out at least last game. Was it?
Yeah, I think he got hurt. I think they were talking about that on like the NBC cast. But like, so you got an offensive lineman that's missing. One of the best offensive linemen in the league. Ricky Pearsall's out. Jawan Jennings is hit or miss. And George Kittle came back from an injury. So, like, that team is beat the hell up.
You didn't mention, too, like, while Christian McCaffrey is playing, he is running out of steam. Like, he is not right. If you watched him 2 games ago, he's, like, nonstop stretching on the sideline. He doesn't look like he has his legs under him at this point. I mean, my hat's off to Christian McCaffrey for playing a whole season. I don't think he missed a damn game this entire year, which, like, we were worried he'd play maybe 4 or 5 games. Like, shout out to him, like, for being there for his team, but the man's taken a beating to get to where he is now.
I think for the yards that he put up, what was that 1,200 on the ground and not almost 2,000 yards, essentially over 2,000 yards. You know that it's bad when you have that much as a yardage and you still only run for 3.5 yards per carry. That's not good. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of touches, a lot of them getting beat to shit for it to not average out to be a first down if you get 3 carries. So like, that's where it's a little concerning. And the injuries, I got to find out exactly who it was offensive line wise, because it was a big one. Trent Williams.
That's what I was saying. Trent, yeah.
Trent Williams. That's a huge loss, especially with the Eagles line is no joke. That if the Eagles are going to bring anything to the table, it's going to be their rush. It's going to be their 4 defensive linemen. 3 out of 4 of them went to Georgia. The other one is just a menace. So, like, you got to figure out how to handle that. And if they already can't run, being the 49ers, for, here's a gap run, here's a gap run. If you can't do that, you're going to play right into the Eagles game, which is control the ball, win a low-scoring game, get on to the next round.
You know what's the craziest thing? That in 2026, we could have a scenario where the 49ers lose, and the narrative is – and so the 49ers lose, Brock Purdy puts up a stinker, the guy that they paid $50 million to a year, or whatever it is. It's a high salary. He has a stinker they lose, and the narrative after the game is they should have started Mac Jones. Like that literally could be a Monday morning topic on, the show Stephen A. Smith yelling at people show. Because Mac Jones has been awesome this year.
He's looked great.
He's looked
He's
great.
gonna get paid. He's gonna go start somewhere. Like I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets bring him in instead of drafting a quarterback. But he's gonna go somewhere, and I don't think that's gonna be a headline. I just know that Brock Purdy he's injury prone, and you just don't know. You knew what you were getting out of Mac Jones. He wasn't gonna scramble. He was just gonna get rid of that rock, but he limited his turnovers when he was out there. He played great games when he was out there. So like I'm not gonna tip the cap to him, but I just think that you can't start him, you can't play him over Brock Purdy.
Let me do the thing. I guarantee you, with this banged up 49ers team, Brock Purdy's going to go out there and put up a stinker in the game against the Eagles. And the narrative after that game, after that loss, is going to be, why did they not start Mac Jones, the guy who led them there for half of the season? Clip that.
I like what you did there.
Did the thing.
I know you said it too. I was like, where's he? Oh, okay. He's doing the thing.
All right, let's transition off of the wild card weekend. So, like, obviously, I think they call it Black Monday around the NFL coaching circles. Basically, tons of teams had disappointing seasons, and we have no one else to blame but the head coach. Honestly, though, in a lot of the cases, the head coach was to fault here. Let's just recap some of the coaching vacancies in the NFL now. So we'll start from the most fresh to the stale ones that happened, in the season. So Raheem Morris fired Monday. Atlanta Falcons head coach. Kevin Stefanski, Cleveland Browns head coach, gone. Jonathan Gannon, which honestly, I didn't even know he was the head coach of Arizona. He was quietly the head coach of Arizona for how many years? 2 years now. And then our gum-chewing friend, Pete Carroll, after 1 year, gone from the Raiders. And then obviously in season, we lost Brian Callahan and the Titans and Brian Daboll with the Giants. So if my math is correct, which it often isn't, 6 coaching vacancies right now. And the only thing I want to mention too that we have not seen resolved, it sounds like Miami's going to be sticking with Mike McDaniels.
Yep.
It sounds like the Bengals are going to stick with Zach Taylor.
Confirm that one.
I haven't fully confirmed. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, what do they want to do with Todd Bowles? That hasn't been put out, in the air like, hey, we're keeping Todd Bowles. Like, don't worry. It's just kind of been radio silent after that kind of disappointing end. D, I guess the funnest place to start, the most logical place to start this conversation is, of those vacancies right now, Atlanta, Cleveland, Arizona, Las Vegas, Tennessee, New York Giants. Which one do you think is the most attractive?
Most attractive?
Like, if you were the hot head coach candidate and you could have your pick of the litter, everyone wants Frizz to be the next head coach. In your opinion, what situation is the most attractive for a team or a coach walking in?
Atlanta.
Okay.
Atlanta's got their quarterback already. If he can stay healthy, and Michael Penix, I just think it was a brutal injury for him to have. But you're going to get a high draft pick. Not to say that you can't use it on a quarterback if you don't trust him. You have a running back. You have a good offense. You have a decent defense surrounding AJ Terrell being your lockdown corner. I think that team itself, you got Drake London as your catapulted wide receiver, Bijan Robinson as a running back for those that don't follow them. I think you have a solid foundation. Get the quarterback situation handled, and I think it makes it even better for them. So I would say as a team, Atlanta looks the hottest out of all those teams because they're not far away. They're a 1, maybe 2 piece away. They're Atlanta, so you can draw free agents with money. It's not like people wouldn't want to play there. They're in a soft division. It's just call it what it is. So
yeah,
I think if I'm a head coach, I'd look at Atlanta and be like, all those other teams, could you find something? Yeah, but I think Atlanta's the hottest one. New stadium, I just think they got a lot more going for them. And Raheem Morris, although they drafted decent, they fumbled by just not being successful.
Yeah, I don't hate that one. That might be the best one. I think you hit nail on the head with the division being kind of a soft division. So you're getting in there. You're probably expected to win pretty early, right? because they fired Raheem Morris, finishing 8-9. Like, he wasn't a bad head coach.
No.
He just didn't get the most out of the players. It sucks for him that he lost his starting quarterback. You know,
they were good too when he was playing.
If you could be someone on the train of thought that you're not sold on Michael Penix. Like, I know you're really hard on your own quarterback, Tyler Shuck. My bad. You're hard on Tyler Shuck because you said he's too old. He's 26. I think Michael Penix, it's like,
he's also old. Yes,
he's also old, full of injuries. So, like, if you're not sold on Penix, you're going to be married to him for at least a couple of years. You don't have much optionality. So, like, I like the Atlanta pick. The only other pick I would say that's like an interesting destination, and you'd also have to like go in there with the understanding that you would have extra time as a head coach to kind of rebuild the thing. I don't hate the Giants situation. I know you're not the biggest Jackson Dart fan. I know. Taking Jackson Dart out of the equation, right? You have a stud wide receiver, and in theory, a stud defensive end that you
have Malik Neighbors, but he's coming off of an ACL injury.
I know.
That changes everything. So does Cam. Like, those are brutal, broken leg. Not broken leg, but essentially a broken leg and a torn ACL and an injury-prone quarterback. So I get what you're saying, but like, that's why I'm like,
well, here's the thing. Like, you have a really good defensive line.
Yes.
Right. You have a superstar, in theory, if he comes back, wide receiver Malik Neighbors in his third year next year. There are some nice pieces there. If you're looking at the Giants, you're also drafting, I think, second or third in the draft this year as well. Fifth. Okay. Well, you're not looking at a quarterback anyways. Like, you can get a nice piece. I think the Giants are a great spot for like a newer head coach that doesn't have high expectations right off the jump, where you have 2 or 3 years to build it out. Hey, if in year 2 you realize Jackson Dart's not your guy, you can get a new quarterback. Yes. Not to mention, by the way, we're talking New York City, baby. Like, that's a great place to live. Draw free agents. Like, if it was me, I would seriously look at the Giants and be like, that's kind of a place where I would be cool starting my coaching career. I don't think it's for a guy that, let me just clarify. I don't think the Giants are for a guy who's been in the league forever and wants to win a championship. I think the Giants is a perfect situation for a guy like Cignetti, your guy in Indiana, like, who it's like, hey man, you do really good things building up programs. We'll give you 4 years to figure it out here. Like, come in and take your time. We have all the faith in you, all the assets, do your thing.
I don't mind that one being, if I'm looking at all these other teams, like rough. Second. I don't mind that one being second, honestly. I think Atlanta is the prime, but
I like Atlanta.
The injuries are just a scary like mystery that you're walking into. You don't know what you're going to get out of Cam. It's one more year of an older Singletary as your running back.
Cam Scadaboo is what, like a 4th or 5th round running back draft selection?
Yeah.
Those things, if it doesn't work out, you take Cam Scad, and this is very callous. This is very callous. You take Cam Scadaboo, throw him in the trash, and draft another running back in the 3rd round. That's very unfair to people, but like, that's how they do it.
But that Cam Jackson Dart combo was doing work, and you saw the production of the team falter backwards. Devin Singletary he's no slouch. He's not a 1A back, but that's what you see the difference of.
You have Tyrone Tracy too there, right?
Yeah, and he wasn't what we expected. I remember I talked about him being the go-to guy fantasy wise. I was like, I think he's going to blow up this year. He had as many opportunities as possible to do that, and he just did not. So like, I don't trust those guys in the backfield if it's not Cam. He's just going to be different. Same with Malik. LSU guys, so like, I want him to come back strong, but you just don't know what's going to happen fresh off of an ACL injury. I trust their defense. Thibodeau is nasty. Like, they got really good pieces to build around on the defensive side. So yeah, I would say second place would be New York. Where it gets very like, holy crap, is everybody else. There is no direction with the Browns, no direction with the Titans. Unfortunately, I feel bad for Cam Ward. Like, he's going to be in that situation where you got 5 head coaches or 4 head coaches and 3 offensive coordinators in 3 years. And we're going to talk about him being a bum. That brother is balling as much as he can with garbage out there. Like, we know how bad Jerry Jeudy is. Calvin Ridley is just ass. They got that Chimke DK
Chimere.
Yeah, like, he's their best option right now. And we don't even know how to pronounce his name. So, like, that's how bad that team is. Vegas.
The Titans might be the worst opening.
No. Vegas.
Vegas is pretty bad too, but they got the number 1 pick though, so you
They
can.
do, which will help reset whoever goes there.
Do we like Mendoza?
I do because you have to. I don't.
No. Not because we have to. Do you think he is going to be your franchise set it and forget it quarterback? You've watched a lot of college ball.
I don't think so.
Okay, then that's not great.
No, I like. Can I be? A lot of my opinion will change this weekend against Oregon. He's done it. He beat them already, so it's not like he can't. But we always talk about ceilings. I think you're seeing his ceiling. I think you're seeing how good he is right now in college. I don't think there's an extra level that he's going to elevate to.
Important.
Whereas there's people like Dante Moore. We don't got to talk college, but let's kick it to the
Vegas.
They were in an area where they needed 10 things. Quarterback being one of them. Offensive line to protect the said quarterback that you're bringing in. A potential number 1. And I love Ashton Genty. But you cannot draft Ashton Genty when you have Aiden O'Connell as your quarterback the year prior to that got you this pick. And then you bring in Geno Smith. You're like, everything's fixed. Let's get a running back. No. So, because they did that last year, even with this pick, they are so far behind the 8 ball when it comes to offensive needs, defensive needs. They got to get rid of Max Crosby because you don't have any other assets around him. There's not a single linebacker or DB that's going to make his job easier, unfortunately.
If this would never happen in real life, but if I'm playing Madden franchise mode and I'm jumping in right now and I'm the Raiders, the most logical thing for the Raiders to do would be find a way to trade out of that first overall pick. I know that sounds asinine, but getting Mendoza is not going to fix this franchise. And we're not even sold he's a franchise quarterback. They need to build out this team. It is outside of a few bright spots, Max Crosby, Brock Bowers. Yeah. And Genty, this team is bare of talent. It would make more sense to take a gap year on the quarterback. Maybe trade for Mac Jones, maybe find a free agent quarterback as a gap quarterback. But this first overall pick, like you said, is not going to turn this franchise around.
They can't because there's no players when it comes to getting multiple picks in the first round. And it's not going to help you getting next year and the year after that. Because who knows what the hell is going to happen next year. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's going to be out there talent-wise coming from college. So,
Arch?
Sure. But, you can't do what the Houston Texans did, which was trade back to still be able to get C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson. That flipped the franchise to get an anchor on defense and your guy on offense. There isn't something out there for that.
Yeah.
Right? I don't see any other team being like, oh, yeah, I'm going to give up my pick this year and next year to get that one quarterback that's going to change my – because the only people that are going to do it are the other teams that are in the top 5 with you. And, they're going to be crappy just as much. We talk about Arizona, they're picking 3rd. We talk about Tennessee, they already got quarterback. They're not going to trade out of it. So, I don't – it's not an easy spot to be in to have the Vegas pick because they have so many needs.
Can I sell you on this as far as the vacancies are concerned?
It's not going to work.
I picked the Giants as a premier destination as far as being a free agent head coach going there. And we both agree the Giants, the Falcons, pretty good, decent landing spots. Can I sell you on the idea that the Cleveland Browns are much closer than we might give them credit for as being a good spot? Because, hear me out, I know the Browns are the Browns. And we joke at them, laugh at them, and they're a shit franchise, shit ownership. But the defense is outstanding. It's not just good, it's great defense. They drafted really freaking well this year.
Yes.
Their defensive tackle they drafted, I think it's Schwetzinger. He's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. The odds are pretty in his favor, but we'll talk it later. They drafted a running back, Quinshon Judkins.
You mean Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Defensive Rookie, excuse me.
You said Defensive Player of the Year. I was like,
not bad. That's
hold on a second on that one.
Yeah, there's another guy on the team.
His own team that is better.
My apologies. You were definitely right to give me that look. They drafted a running back, and Judkins looks very good. Harold Fannin looks like a stud tight end. Like, they've done really good work getting quality players, and then they have a good defense. You just got to fix that offensive line and figure out what you want to do at quarterback. Like, and you have 2 picks this year. Like, the Brown situation is not far from being turned around, I feel like.
The only reason why I don't mind you squeaking them in between 2 and 3. I'm struggling because they don't know what they're doing at quarterback. And getting rid of Stefanski, though, there's people that are saying, and I appreciate you being here, Gizo. There are people that are saying ownership wanted Shador. Stefanski wanted Dylan. Stefanski's gone.
Yeah,
so if that's the case,
meddling owners.
Hey, it's just part of the game.
That's not to say the ownership was wrong, by the way.
Right, and they could still go a different route. At 6, might be tough. If you're thinking later in the draft, then how don't you just develop the guy you have?
Oh no. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So like I get that they are very close. It's just I can't put them up there as 2 because it's the Browns. Like, they're going to find a way to just mess up whatever they have in this great defense and then hodgepodge offense that they're just rolling out there.
I am with Gizo on this one. I am not a Shador, like D knows. I am not a Shador Sanders fan.
Oh, they're gonna say hater. You are.
I'm a Shador Sanders hater. I think at this point, like, you need to give him a full season and just ride it out. If it sucks, then you'll be drafting high again.
Yes.
You're not going to – it doesn't make sense at 6 to reach for a quarterback who's going to be just as mid.
Yep.
Right? Whatever. Let Shador have a chance. My only hesitation, again, you brought up the ownership pushing for Shador, which I think that was the case since Stefanski did not want Shador. I don't like the idea of being a head coach and decisions being made by owners who don't spend 12 hours a day studying this shit, right? Meddling owners is the death of any franchise, whether it be NBA. Look at the Suns with Matt Ishbia pulling off trades like Kevin Durant and Brad Beal, whether it be the NFL with the Browns owners stomping the table saying do anything to get Deshaun Watson. Like, meddling owners are a death nail to a well-run franchise. And you bringing up that whole scenario does make me be like, would I want to be a head coach when I know the owner's going to meddle in every decision I make? Probably not.
The only reason why I would say it's different for the Browns versus anyone else is because you brought in Stefanski to be the quarterback whisperer. You brought him in to be the guy that's going to fix that franchise. And then he went out there and had 13 quarterbacks in 6 years. At some point, ownership has to be like, all right, Kevin, like, we gave you the reins to do whatever you could with everybody that we possibly could. And it does not help that you had, at some point, I understand that the injuries hurt the most, but at some point you had a MVP leading Baker Mayfield out in Tampa who was in your building. And at the time, not saying that they were wrong. We didn't know that Deshaun the Diddler was going to end up doing what he was doing. But like, you take Deshaun Watson over Baker Mayfield at that point. You have to, because he was just better. But you still had Deshaun Watson when he was healthy, and he did not look the same prior to everything that ended up happening. So like, Stefanski has had talent he's had quarterbacks in that franchise that he was supposed to be the guy to fix them, and he didn't do it. So like, that's why normally I'd be with you to be like, oh yeah, like, owner, stay out of this. But they gave him the reins and he just dropped it multiple times.
And my statement's not a defense of Kevin Stefanski and how he handled that team the past couple of years. But let's go from talking about bad NFL teams. This is way too much talk about shit teams. Let's transition to talk about good NFL players. NFL awards. So the markets are closed. You can't bet in them anymore because after the season's over, like, basically all the data is collected. Now it's up to the voters who are like media members and such to pick who their winner will be. I think the way it works in the NFL is it's a point system. And I think the NBA might be similar as well, where you pick your first, second, and third place finisher. You get first.
Points.
Yeah, so a first place vote is 5 points, second place vote's 3, and third is 1 point. And the way it works is that you could actually not get the most first place votes and still win if you have enough points. So let's just talk about the MVP to start with. Last time I checked, it was really a 2-dog race. It was down to Drake May, which is crazy to say, and Matthew Stafford. It was pretty close. And then I know that Matthew Stafford had a hell of a week 18, put up a ton of yards and stats, and it was pretty much deadlock after that. Matt Stafford may have edged out. For you, D, you can pick go off the board too if you want. Who's your NFL MVP?
That's Matthew Stafford.
Okay.
I think it's a hands down. Give him the trophy. I understand that the standings didn't waver out the way that they wanted them to. Like at one point, we thought that they were going to be the 1 seed, just edged out by the Seahawks. I think the year that you had with Stafford this year is very similar to Lamar's year last year, but there's no Josh Allen. I don't care what you say about Drake May. I think Stafford putting up passing numbers is like 4,700 yards. Yeah, 4,700 yards, 46 touchdowns, only 8 picks.
That's great.
That's insane. Completion percentage, QBR 71, and completion percentage is over 70%. Sorry, over 65% for the season. Like I think he was the anchor to that successful team out west. The reason why I don't go Drake May isn't the teams that he faced, but it's what he did in the teams that were above 500, and that like teams that had a winning record. He struggled, and I don't think like if you have another quarterback, I'm not saying that Drake May is replaceable, but I think if you have a quarterback that is going to struggle against bad teams, against good teams, but do great against bad teams, then anybody could do that.
Are you calling him a stat patter?
No, I'm just saying like when he had the chance to actually do work, I think it was ended up having like I think he was 2-2 record wise, like 600 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Like that's not MVP numbers against good teams. Matthew Stafford was consistent the entire year, whether they were winning or they were losing. He's putting up his numbers, carrying that team. So, like, I'm not saying that Drake May didn't have an MVP caliber season, just not this year when you have Matthew Stafford there.
I don't think you're wrong in the argument for Matthew Stafford, but I'm going to play devil's advocate on this one as to why Drake May should win the award. Stats are pretty similar. You would have to look up Drake May's stats for me if you don't mind.
Yep.
But Drake May is adding more on the ground. And if you want to compare, like we want to compare strength of schedule, like, oh, well, Matthew Stafford, played a tougher schedule and Matthew Stafford's doing against better opponents. Okay. Well, Matthew Stafford also has Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. Who the hell is Drake May throwing to? If you want to think of one singular player who is the absolute engine of their respective offense, Drake May is your guy. Not to mention Drake May is playing at home this week as the 2 seed, finished strong, took care of their business. Matthew Stafford, on the other hand, last 3 weeks, loss, and then a win against the Cardinals. So, like, the way both quarterbacks handled their business, finished the season, one petered off and ended up by going on the road week 1 of the wild card weekend, and then Drake May's playing at home. It's like, when I think of MVP, I think of very similar to the NBA where it's like win shares, right? Like how much are you contributing to your team getting these wins? Matthew Stafford, Drake May. Drake May has more wins. I think Drake May is more of the singular contributing factor to those wins for his respective team. While Matt Stafford is great, not as many wins, falling down the stretch, not hosting a playoff game week 1. And I think a lot of that team success in his numbers, it's not all the other guys, but like those skill guys help a hell of a lot. Oh, and they have a genius offensive coordinator in Sean McVay. So like, I think there's a case for Drake May here.
I believe you. I'm not saying that there isn't. I just don't think it's this season. While you're talking about the losses that they had outside of the duffed game in Atlanta, things happen. It's the NFL. Like random things could happen. We saw them lose to the Panthers in those games since that Panthers loss. We'll go since the Bucks. We'll say Bucks game. 34 on offense, 28 on offense, 45 on offense, 41 on offense, 37 and lost by one. The stinker, but they put up 24, and then 37. They're averaging 30 plus points a game with him being the quarterback against these teams that, yes, I understand the Cardinals, they should blow them out. The Lions were a playoff team last year. They beat them. Like they're still went on the road and played tougher games, and Matthew Stafford still showed up. They didn't win, but Matthew Stafford still showed up and got their team in the best position to win in these one-score games.
All right. Other awards
back and forth for it, but yeah.
Sorry, I just
you're good.
For the
you have to. We can't always agree. We can't
for time's sake. I think if I was a voter, I'd probably lean Matthew Stafford, but I'm just trying to make an argument of why Drake made it. If he does win, why he deserved to win. Offensive player of the year, I don't think it's super exciting. Do you agree? Like a heavy favorite, Jackson Smith and Jigba?
I'm splitting hairs between him and Puka.
Okay, he was the second odd. You bet now, so you're aware of like what these numbers mean. Mm-hmm. JSN minus 1,600.
Okay,
so like super heavy favorite. Puka was plus 1,200.
Really?
Yeah.
So the only reason why, I mean, I know Jackson Smith and Jigba like blew up the beginning of the season. That Seahawks offense kind of slowed down though towards the end of the season. They were still winning, but I'm pretty sure like his numbers towards the end of the season just weren't as good. Yeah. So the last 3 games. So what's up?
He had a couple of duds close to the end. You're right.
Yeah. So like the last 4 games, 8 catches, 96, 9 catches, 70, 6 catches, 80, 1 touchdown. So like I'm not saying that's
but yeah,
great numbers. I'm just when you are going up against somebody else in your same position. That the last couple of games of the season, Puka Nacua, let me just read these off. The last 3, same span, 12 for 226, 5 for 40 and a touchdown, 10 for 70 and a touchdown, 5 touchdowns compared to 1.
Yeah, like, touchdowns is everything though.
I get that, but I'm saying recency bias changes a lot. And the way that Jackson Smith and Jigba started the season, you say, oh, hell yeah. It's not even. First 75% of the season, you go, yes, he's a runaway with that. But you have Puka, who's like just underneath him when it comes to statistics. And then the end of the season is a complete flip of one guy putting up 600 yards, 5 touchdowns, and the other putting up 301 touchdown. That's why I'm like, I'm not saying that he won't win it. My vote would go to Puka just based off of this. But I could see, I wouldn't have any doubt to be like, oh, yeah, Jackson Smith and Jigba didn't deserve that. I'd be like, oh, that's a great win for him. Second year.
I think it's a no-brainer that Myles Garrett won defensive player of the year. The only thing I want to say is I want to use this opportunity to segue on Myles Garrett. Maybe I'm just like an old grump now. I feel like that sack record kind of in my mind is a little asterisk.
Why?
Because he did it in the extra game.
Cool. You know what's not cool? I mean, you know what's not talked about? Snaps. I'm glad you brought this up, Mr. Statistics.
Oh,
outside of Reggie White. Reggie White in some insane number, but Michael
Strahan, make sure you click and clip that, man.
All right, cool. Michael Strahan, you want me to get the exact numbers? I'm not going to have those, but Michael Strahan had over 620 snaps. TJ Watt had over 620 snaps. Myles Garrett, while getting double, triple team, clipped with a running back, clipped by the tight end, and then trying to get to the quarterback, had less than 200, just over 400 total snaps. So not only was he getting quadruple teamed every goddamn game, we saw what they did to him in Pittsburgh. I watched a left guard, a left tackle, a left tight end, and a running back hit him so that they couldn't get to Aaron Rodgers. He was having that treatment and still broke the record. So miss me with Michael Strahan being upset. I don't care about TJ Watt. He's a mid linebacker / EN, whatever you want to call him. Myles Garrett is the only human being outside of what's his name? Donald. That was in
Aaron
Donald that I've seen somebody get quadruple teamed and still cause havoc. So like, I don't care what you say, Strahan or whatever record. Reggie White is the GOAT. Like that brother did it in like 300 snaps. So like, whatever you want to say, if there's somebody that deserves it, it's him. But Myles Garrett doing it in 200 less snaps. I don't care about games. It's about what they were doing out there to prevent him from getting it, and he still got it.
Clip that.
Clip that.
Comeback player of the year, Christian McCaffrey. I'm not super interested in that one.
Yeah, some people said that Chris Olave should get it, and then I sent you that video, and there's a part of it that say Chris Olave is always hurt. He begin his shit smack, like that's just him. When he's there, cool, but he gets his shit rocked when he's playing, and he was there with some injury, and then not there without some injury. So, yeah, I would give it to Christian McCaffrey for finishing the full season.
Offensive player of the year looks like it's probably going to go to Ted McMillan. But I think your boy Tyler Shuck made a case to at least be in the conversation. What?
You forgot the rookie part again. You said player of the year. I was like, we were just talking about this. No, you're good. Tet being the lead runner, huh?
Yeah.
I think it was in Jackson Dart's hands until he got injured.
Yes.
Then when he got injured, it opened the door for everybody else. Tet started off slow, and because of this little run that the Panthers went on, it helped him. I would not be surprised because everything is always quarterback driven. It would not surprise me if Tyler Shuck won it because of his last 6 games of the season.
Yeah, I think also like with Tyler Shuck, it's like he started how many games? 9, 8 games?
Yeah, I think it was 8.
Right. So like maybe voters will say, well, with a larger sample size, like he would have looked way more impressive.
That's what everybody always wants to do. And every award is always trying to be quarterback driven. So like Tet played great. But it would not surprise me if they're like, oh, offensive rookie of the year, Tyler Shuck. And then everybody's like, see, you got your quarterback. I'm like, whatever, dog, whatever.
Defensive rookie of the year, I'm not super interested in. I think Schlesinger is probably going to win that in Cleveland. Coach of the year is interesting. That one was another tight one. It was all over the place. Again, I put a bet on that one a couple weeks back. It was all over the place at the end of this week. It was between Mike Vrabel, not Mike McDaniel, Mike McDonald, thank you. That's the head coach of Seattle. And Kyle Shanahan was up there for a little bit. When they thought he was going to potentially get the 1 seed, I think he kind of, after they lost and they bumped back to the 6 seed, he fell off odds-wise. I think for me, it's a no-brainer. Like I texted you like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, these odds are bonkers. Like I'm putting money on Mike Vrabel. Like to me, it's a no-brainer. He took a 5-win Patriots team, brought them to 13 wins, I think. They have 13 and 12 wins. Whatever it is, the win jump is 7 or 8 wins.
14-3.
14. So he 9+ wins on a team that we thought maybe could be a 7-win team, maybe 8 with some development of Drake May. No one thought this was going to be the Patriots season. No one could have predicted this. Like the job Mike Vrabel did. I know they brought in some guys with free agency, but like largely it's a lot of the same cast. You added a fun running back, but like the wide receivers, Diggs wasn't like a Pro Bowl type Diggs for most of the year. Like he's done this with a lot of what's that?
It's a Mac Hollins.
Mac Hollins. He's done this, Mike Vrabel, that is, with a lot of like whatever guys. Like it's super impressive. I don't know if there's a case for anyone else. I guess you could try to make a case for Mike McDonald, but I don't know.
The only reason why I would say I'd give a case for it is because everybody laughed at the Sammy D signing, and nobody expected the best team in the NFL. I don't care about the Broncos. Like nobody expected the best team to be the Seattle Seahawks, like while bringing in Sam McDonald. And now I said McDonald.
You made him. You gave him a farm.
These names are throwing me off. This is why I don't say names. But he came in and he's now back-to-back 14 wins. So like, yes, the expectation for the Patriots was exceeded wholeheartedly. But you cannot tell me anybody and their mother would have looked at the way that Sam Darnold ended last year with the Vikings that they would be a 14-win team going into the 1 seed for the playoffs this year with that team. There's no chance.
To be fair on the Sam Darnold argument, he was awesome all last year until the playoffs. So
everybody, we said it, he lost so much money and nobody wants to believe in him after that.
If we put ourselves back to Vikings Sam Darnold, he was awesome all year. Last week of the season, he became a pumpkin. First week of the playoffs, he became a pumpkin. I don't know if you watched the game between Seattle and the 49ers, but Sam Darnold was looking a little orange, a little pumpkin-y this week. Would not be surprised if pumpkin Sam Darnold showed up again in the playoffs. I'm just saying, maybe They did not fix the Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold just does what Sam Darnold does.
It was a random Thursday night game. It was on the road in Candlestick, and he didn't turn the ball over. What more do you want?
More than 13 points. They were afraid.
49ers.
They were the banged up 49ers. They were afraid. They were afraid of Sam Darnold blowing that game. You can't say.
I mean, you're not wrong. They ran the ball 40 times.
Yeah.
But they still threw it 20. They threw it 26 times, and he completed 20 of them. No turnovers, not a fumble, not an interception. So I get it. They might be trying to keep the handcuffs on him, but what travels? The run game and your defense. How do you win championships? The run game and your defense. We saw Peyton Manning break the record with 70 touchdown passes and 5,000 passing yards. Ran into a buzzsaw called the Seattle Seahawks, who limited him to 3 points in a Super Bowl. So, like, it does not matter about how good your offense is. It's your run game and your defense. And that team is built around that. Sam Darnold just needs to not turn the ball over, and they'll be fine.
Fair enough. We'll see how
it's going to Vrabel easily.
Yeah. We'll see how these picks end up. I think it's like a couple weeks. I think it's after the second round. They usually announce the awards, so we'll see what happens with that.
When did they change that? Well, I thought the awards were given like before the playoffs started.
Definitely is not then. I don't know when they changed it. I know it's not. I know it's before the Pro Bowl, but after like the first round. So it's somewhere in between there. All right. Before we get out of here, you good for closing takes?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it.
The show is coming to an end. But first, it's time to get to anything we've missed. It's closing time. One segment, two takes. Now go.
All right, D. Closing takes is a chance for you and me to get off one last take before we get out of here for the day. It's a little fun time where we can ISO ball, go wherever we want. Do you want me to go first or do you want me to go second?
You can go.
All right, I'll try to be brief. I had this one for a couple weeks, so I wanted to save this for you. Have you heard the name James Najee before?
No.
All right, this is a good one. So James Najee is a 7-foot center who was drafted in 2023. All right, he's played several summer league games in the NBA. He ended up by going to Europe and playing 3 seasons over in Europe. So now he's 23 years old. He just signed to go play with Baylor University as a freshman. So we have a guy who's been drafted to the NBA, played NBA Summer League, and played 3 years over in Europe Professional League. Yet he has all of his eligibility to play in the NCAA. That is bananas. And you know what this shows you, D? NIL is here, baby. Because if NIL money can get this guy to forego going to the NBA and forego pretty decent paychecks out in Europe, that money must be real good out in Baylor. Now, I will say this.
Oil money.
Number one, this is great for college basketball. Because, hear me out, you're going to have a lot of guys who can get drafted, I don't know, round 2, end of the first round. They're going to be like, I don't know, man. Let's just go back to college for a couple of years and see what happens. You're going to see a lot of guys sticking around, a lot less one and done. And by the way, before everyone loses their minds over this James Najee guy, he played his first game actually on Tuesday.
It sucked.
5 points, 4 fouls.
Yeah.
He was awful.
Yeah.
That's his first game, but that's a funny one. I like that.
So you said the name. I didn't know the name, but once you started the story, I was like, oh, yeah, I heard about this. Yeah, so good for Baylor. Like I had mentioned, oil money for throwing the bag at him. Terrible for college sports.
Oh, you're the end of that.
I don't want to hear. I don't want to see 20. Dude, I was the 5th year senior. Remember that? Like I tore my hamstring. So like I was a 5th year senior. I'm not trying to be in school playing sports 27 years old, being a 27-year-old senior. That just is a little bit much. So like if he doesn't go to the league and he plays out his eligibility, he'll be 28. Brother, go start a family. You know what I'm saying? Like, go do something. You don't need to be playing college basketball in Waco at the University of Baylor. Like,
Come on, D. How fun was college?
I mean, it was, but like there was a point in time where I felt old. I was like, why am I a 22 turning 23-year-old corner, 5'10", 190 pounds, with his 18-year-old 6'3" wide receiver. Like, I'm like, dude, this is too much for me. What am I? I'm not playing a position where age doesn't matter. Like, no, there's a big difference between an 18-year-old wide receiver and 23-year-old corner.
Only you will find this entertaining or funny. But shout out Rich Braley.
Oh my goodness. Oh, big shout out to Rich Braley. Was he 28?
He was old, man.
He might have been 30. And then for those, obviously, you have no idea what we're talking about. That was our defensive end when I was a freshman.
He was a middle linebacker, brother.
Oh, he was a middle linebacker when I was a freshman and when Trudeau was a senior, which is hilarious.
That guy was. You can't move that man.
Braley, what a name! What a throwback!
All right, what you got?
Well, I'm actually gonna stick with college sports, but I'm gonna go with the pigskin. And I got a big gripe because I'm pissed off. And I started talking about it, but I was like, no. I need to wait on this one. Go ahead and ISO on this one. You guys know how much I love college football. I bleed purple and yellow. LSU is my favorite school. It's my favorite sport. We have to figure out a way to fix this college football playoff. The amount of bye week losses from the higher seed teams is getting out of hand. We're now 2 years in, and those teams that get the bye week 1 are 1-7. We need to fix this. I don't know if it's going to come with having home games for the second round and you still label it a bowl game. Like, these neutral game sites, it's just not working, and it's changing the landscape of the way all these teams are actually preparing. Oregon had a great tune-up, and they went out there and blitzed James Madison. They beat the crap out of Texas Tech. Indiana was the only team that got the actual win. But Ole Miss went out there and beat up on Tulane. Then they whooped Georgia. Like, it was a controlled win, great comeback win by Childress. Then Miami goes out there and plays on the road against Texas A&M, and then they blitz Ohio State. Like, we got to figure out something. I'm not saying the advantage should wholeheartedly be with the higher seed, but I don't think the average fan is going to continue watching if, like, the higher, better teams just keep losing round 2. We saw this last year when we saw Ashton Genty and the Boise State team lose. We saw Oregon lose again. Ohio State beat them. Alabama lost. Like, there's just things that need to be fixed. We need to move this shit backwards. Somebody put out there saying, hey, like, we still got another 3 weeks of college football. And it's weird to think that because, like, we're now getting closer to February. Move this shit back. Get rid of this bye. Make it a home game. Keep the Capital One Sugar Bowl if you want it. But just fix this because it's going to be a big problem if this continues.
The only one that really stood out to me is like, wow, that's weird, was Miami beating Ohio State. I came on this show and said I believe Miami's the real deal earlier in the year. But I also thought Ohio State's the second best team in the country.
They are.
So, like, that is bizarre. Some of the examples are like Ohio State beating Oregon last year. Yeah, that sounds right, actually. Boise State losing.
Beat them in the regular season.
Boise State losing. Yeah, that sounds right. Like, it's 1-7. I get it. It's a big number. It's like, it's jarring. I don't think a lot of these losses are really that, like.
Notre Dame beat Georgia.
That's a strange one.
Things happen, and I get it any given Saturday. But, like, I think the most glaring one was when I had read somebody saying, like, hey, man, we still got another 3.5, 4 weeks of college football. And I was like, damn, I love college football. But, like, it used to be the New Year's 6. The games around New Year's used to be the end of the season, the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day, and it's the end of the season. Maybe the national championship the week after, and you're like, all right, cool, season's over. Like, we got 2 more rounds, and there's going to be a week after the last round for the national championship. Like, why is college football now competing with the NFL? Like, don't lose your mystique, please.
I got bad news for you, buddy. Get ready to speak playing games.
Yeah. God, I'm already talking about that. We fixed, the 12 and 11 thing by just adding play-ins. It's like, great. So we can start arguing about the 14th and 15th best teams in college sports. Like, what are we doing? It's
gonna turn into the entire season as a round of 64 NCAA knockout tournament.
Hey man, did you see the Frosted Flakes? I know you didn't, but did you see the Frosted Flakes Bowl?
No, I didn't.
Somebody said that bowl games were dead. They are not. Dog, one of the guys scored, I can't remember the teams, but they scored a touchdown, ran right over the big bowl of cereal and jumped in that bitch. Like, this shit was hilarious. Like, that's what college football's all about, man. They got the Pop-Tarts bowl where they put the Pop-Tart in the toaster and then it slid out the slide at the bottom. Like, it's just great.
Listen, D, I get what you're trying to sell me on this and what you're trying to say, but you can't come on here and tell me people trying to say bowl games are dead, and then you basically follow up by being like, I don't know who was playing, but they jumped in a bowl of cereal. Like, you're proving the point. You don't even know who's playing.
People want the games to be dead. They are not. They are alive and well. Illinois State is playing Montana right now for the FCS championship. I love that. They got to play off. Go Montana State. They're winning 21-7.
Oh, wow. All right, D. Good show. Get us out of here right.
Every time we say we're going to be quick, we're never quick. So we appreciate y'all being here. A couple of new chatters, not even new chatters, but
that's what she said.
Yeah, whatever. Back to that one was not a good one. JR, appreciate you being here. And Jizo from the GPA, appreciate you being here. So thank you guys. Anytime you're trying to catch us live, catch us on Twitch or YouTube or Facebook on Mondays, right around 8 o'clock. If you want to catch us the next day, podcast, whether it's Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever it is that you find your podcast. Website's also at the bottom. frizzandthegrizz.com. Hit us up, like, subscribe, comment, all that good jazz. Or it's not there in the top left, but the TikTok. Hit us up with the latest and greatest clips when it comes to it. Comment as much as possible because you love pissing people off. When it comes to wrapping us up, like I say every time, please be a friend. Say something nice. You never know what it could do for someone. Make sure to take care of y'all mentals. Make sure to take care of y'all physicals. Take care of y'all chicken. Take care of y'all cheering. Have a great new year.
That's when it just clicked in my mind that if you just run through somebody's face, a lot of people ain't gonna be able to take that over and 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 over again. They just not gonna want that.
Think there's a deeper metaphor there?
Run through a motherfucker face.